What is going on, everybody? I am back with a brand new video, and today I'm going to be doing a quick in the bag, a preseason in the bag video. Yes! Just the other night I was going through my bag, seeing what I was throwing a lot last year, what I wasn't, what could be taken out, and what could be added in order to hopefully round out my bag and have a great season in 2025. Starting out with the bag itself, Discology V3 OG bag. I've been rocking this for a little while. Don't see myself not rocking it, but I would one day love to try one of those Squatch bags. Anyway, starting with my putters, they never change. They're the classic blend Burst Wardens. This was the first putter I ever got attached to, and it's never changed. In like two and a half years, I have not switched putters because oftentimes it's the putter and not the putters. So if I go through a bad streak, I just need to practice more. The putters stay the same. This is a new one that I added to the bag. It's gonna be my throwing putter going into the season, and that's the Proxys from Thought Space. I tried this disc out kind of towards the end of 2024, and I felt like I was throwing it pretty well. It was fun to throw. It feels great in the hand. I think they actually messed up on this plastic is what they said. It didn't turn out as soft as they wanted it to, but I actually like it. I think it's very comfortable, and I think it's nice and grippy. The next two never come out of the bag. I'm using these mainly for forehand approach shots. I have a 4-time Z Zone, which is extra beefy. Its counterpart is the Jawbreaker Zone. This one, if I beat it in, it will flip up to flat, and right out of the box, they're pretty much straight flyers. That's going to lead me into my mid-ranges. I don't throw a lot of mid-ranges, especially with the zones and the putters. I just feel like I'm not reaching for mids very often, but my understable mid is gonna be the Detour, straight to understable really. But if I'm trying to hyzer flip a mid-range and it's not windy out, I'm going with the Detour. And then something that's probably a little bit more consistent is gonna be this 5-time ESP Buzz. This thing has stayed in my bag for a couple years now, I think, and it's still pretty much money, continues to get better. But if it's slightly more windy, I'll probably get out the Buzz. Not today.
Oh, baby, that's nice.
Now going into my fairways, I did take out my Thunderbird. I was bagging a Halo Thunderbird for a little while, and then I added this new Raptor that I will talk about. Starting with kind of my straight go-tos, it's gonna be the USDGC Halo Leopard 3. I always forget the year, but this run is absolutely money. This purple one is the one that's most beaten in, so hyzer flips or just turnover shots. But what's nice about it is it just kind of drifts right. I don't know, it doesn't necessarily like turn over. But then I have this one, this orange one that's a little bit more stable. If I want it just to go dead straight, I'll reach for it. Of course, we have the Athena. This was in my top 5 favorite discs video. I've said it, I'll say it again. Everyone needs something like it in the bag, whether it's the T-Bird, whether it's the Athena. I'm sure there's 1,000 more out there like it, but I love this prototype Athena. And this is one that I tried kind of toward the end of 2024. But it is the Shift from Streamline. This was a fundraiser, St. Jude's run, and this thing is pretty fun to throw. 9.5 -3.1. That's off the top of the dome. I hope I got that correct. But basically, my understable fairway driver. If I want to throw the turnover shots, or if I want to throw like an insane hyzer flip, you know, through a gap or through the woods, this thing is just fun to throw. And I was always looking for a more understable fairway to throw in the bag, and I felt like this one was really good. I really enjoyed throwing it. It doesn't get touched very often, at least it didn't last year, but definitely wanted to keep it in the bag for 2025. And now more to my stable stuff. First, I put this ESP Raptor, relatively new. I don't even know if I have footage of me throwing this, but I have thrown it around, and it doesn't necessarily fly like a Raptor. It's a little bit more understable, kind of flips up, but it really just stays on that flip up line until it fades. So it still has some stability if I want something just slightly more stable than the Athena. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Maybe it'll come out of the bag. I'm not quite sure yet. Then you have the Firebird. This thing stays in the bag. I love this run. People didn't necessarily like this run because it wasn't as stable as Nate Sexton's previous runs, but I thought it was the people's Firebird. This is my main forehand fairway driver. I always say 9 speeds are fairways, so hopefully you agree. And then rounding it out, complete beefcake, we have the Captain's Raptor. I like this Jawbreaker Z plastic. The one thing I will say about it though, is when it becomes really hot outside, it's almost too bendy. So on those days, I might throw just a normal Z one in the bag that's a little stiffer. But this thing's a beefcake. It's kind of a utility disc for me, but at the same time, if it's really windy, I'll just kind of pull this out, or if I need a big spike hyzer or a short spike hyzer because I can't throw it very far, I'll pull this guy out.
Yeah, should have done that.
My go-to bomber disc, if it's not windy, we have a prototype Hades. This thing's money. I'm so glad I found it because I lost my previous Hades that was just a bomber for me. You got to find a Hades that has some sort of dome. I have a lot of flat Hades over there and they suck. I gotta be honest, I don't necessarily like them. This thing isn't incredibly domey, but it's not flat either, if that makes sense. And it's a bomber. And then of course we have the Trail, also my top 5 favorite discs. This thing probably will never leave the bag as long as it doesn't get too flippy on me. And if that's the case, I'll probably buy another one. But just a hyzer flip, straight machine. If I have to hit a long tunnel, I feel like I'm reaching for the Trail. That way I can throw on that hyzer, watch it flip up. And I feel like this thing, as long as you get it all the way to flat, it doesn't really fade a lot. So in the woods, that's great. Just if you need a straight long shot, the Trail's really good. Moving on to my main distance drivers, we have the Disccraft Zeus. I'm bagging 3 of them. Starting off with this white ESP 5x Zeus. This one's my favorite because I have beaten it up, can kind of flip it up. It's probably my farthest Zeus so far and my most understable one. Then that middle stability, I ended up putting this titanium Zeus in. I was throwing this one last year, or I put it in the bag last year, and it really was kind of in between this Kong and then that white ESP one I just showed you. So if it is a little windier, I'll trust this one more. And then if it's really windy, I'll go with this Kong prototype Zeus. This thing's pretty flat, doesn't have a ton of glide, but it still flies. And if I need to trust something out there in the wind or over OB, this is probably my guy. This next one you guys have seen a lot, but it's the Halo Wraith. I keep this in the bag specifically for my forehand. So if I need a big forehand drive off the tee, you bet I'm reaching for the Halo Wraith. This Halo plastic is super durable, feels great. And then this last one is a new addition. Haven't really thrown it much, but what I'm hoping it is the most stable distance driver I'll have in the bag. And that's gonna be this Jawbreaker ESP Venom. Pretty high speed, should be pretty stable, I think. And I'm just experimenting with this, hoping that it's kind of my wind fighter. If it's really windy and I need a driver to rely on, I'm hoping the Venom is that. I don't really have a lot to say about this one just because it's one I just added to the bag. I haven't thrown it a lot, I've thrown it a little, but this is definitely experimental. Well guys, that is my in the bag, at least to start 2025. This is what I'm hoping gets me more consistent and better at the game. One thing that you guys should know, and I've probably said it before, but on this channel, there's a lot of disc reviews. I try discs all the time. That's kind of the main thing on this channel. But at the same time, you should know I am out playing disc golf probably 2 times a day. Once in the morning doing the video, and then I'll go out with my buddies, and that's when I'm throwing this bag here. So I'm still practicing, I'm still trying to get better at the game while also doing the disc reviews. And I think that's important to note because I think some of you think that all I do is just disc reviews. I come home, edit, I post it. But that's not really the case. I really like disc golf. I play a lot of disc golf and I continue to try to get better at it. Not that I want to become a pro, but I want to become good enough for you guys to want to watch. But anyway, this is the bag that's going to be beating my friends this season. Let me know what you guys think of it. Am I missing some spots? Is the bag terrible? Let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.